Hey everyone, I've had a few questions lately about the best cabin to book on the 2023 Paralegal cruise. And honestly, the answer really is it totally depends. But I wanted to take a couple minutes to go through the options for those people who are interested who maybe have not cruised before and aren't sure what type of cabin is best or really what the options are. First of all, I would like to say a big thank you to two of our amazing supporters. First, I would like to just mention and say thank you, of course, to our friends at NAPS, the National Association of Professional Process Servers. You guys hear me talking about them all the time because it's an incredible resource for legal professionals. NAPS is a worldwide association of professional process servers, and it's an amazing resource, of course, when you need a process server, but also there could be other reasons why you might need someone locally in your area to help you with something. So it's really fantastic. You can go right to their website. You can search by city, state, zip, or you can even search different countries and you can find assistance exactly where that is needed. So I have their website there for you, napps.org. Great group of people. I also wanted to give a big thank you to Felice Solomon of Solomon Search Group. For those of you who have been on the cruise with us before, you've certainly met Felice. Many of you know her from prior cruises or from the legal community in general. Solomon Search is headquartered in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and should definitely be your first stop if you're looking for a new opportunity in Florida. They do have a job board right on their website full of amazing job openings. And of course, you can also contact them directly to discuss your specific situation. So you can find them at solomonsearch.com. So let's talk about the cruise. So this is going to be our 10th annual Paralegals Navigating Perilous Waters cruise event. Don't worry, the waters are not going to be that perilous. They're usually like glass and really amazing. This year's cruise is going to be taking place Wednesday, April 26th to Monday, May 1st, out of Port Canaveral, Florida. We are going to be cruising to Cozumel, Mexico, and Great Stirrup Cay, which is NCL's private island in the Bahamas. Is absolutely incredible. And of course, you can check out paralegalcruise.com for all of the information in general. Here, we're going to talk about the cabins. So what we can do is if you are on paralegalcruise.com, you can click on NCL Getaway. That's the name of the ship that we're going to be on. And it's going to take you to the Norwegian's website for the ship. So what I've done is I've just gone here and clicked on staterooms, and I have the stateroom information for you. So it's really great because they're actually going to go through all of the different cabin options that you have available. So generally, the way that it works is the higher up you go in the category. So you can see here we have studio, inside, ocean view, balcony, spa, club balcony, and then the haven. The higher up the list you go, generally, the more expensive the cabin is going to be. Sometimes the prices are very, very close in proximity. So I always recommend that you get a variety of quotes so you can kind of see, you know, if you're looking at an inside cabin, but a balcony is only $50 more, then you're absolutely going to want to, you know, spend that $50 and get the balcony. Usually there's a little bit more of a price difference in between the different levels, but I always recommend looking at them just in case. So the first cabin category that we have is the studio. Studio is specifically designed and priced for one person. Literally, you can never add a second person to a studio booking. If you later wanted to add a second person, you would have to upgrade. So if you're coming with someone else and you're already bringing two people, you're going to cross the studio right off your list. The studio cabins are generally about 100 square feet. They are really cool because they're, like I said, they're designed for one person. They're in a private part of the ship that you need key card access to get into. So let me just show you a little bit of the floor plan. So this is kind of a little view of the room here. This is a digital window, so you can change the lighting. It just kind of gives you a feeling of having a window. And then this is the studio lounge. So another benefit of booking into the studio cabins is that you have access to this incredible lounge where you can hang out. They have coffee, they have snacks, they have cookies, they bring treats throughout the day. They also have these super cool wine dispensers, which are not included, but you can get wine if you have a wine emergency. You can pop down to your private space down here and get yourself a wine, or you can get a specialty coffee. It's a really nice place to gather. We have a ton of people in the studios, so you definitely will not be alone. And then this is an overview of what the studio cabin looks like. You have the bed, you have your shower over here, you have all your space. So it's a nice little private space. It is obviously the smallest cabin type on the ship because it is designed for only one person. The most common question that I get about the studios is, can you get a studio with a balcony or a studio with the window to the outside? You cannot. All of the studio cabins are interior cabins, so there's no balcony and there's no window to the outside. So that's the main thing to consider there. And again, you can only get a studio if you have one person. Now, one thing to consider is if you are coming with a second person, you could get 2 studio cabins. I definitely recommend this if you're coming with maybe a coworker or someone that you haven't traveled with before and you want to have your own space. You could get 2 studio cabins if they're available. You could get them connecting. So there's a little door in the middle that you can open to make them really into one big cabin. But having 2 studio cabins is a great way to travel with a friend or a colleague that maybe you don't want to share like a bathroom with, or you don't want to share a small cabin with. And that way you each have your own private space. So that's just something to consider. The next kind of standard cabin type is the inside cabin. So you'll see that the inside cabins are a little bit bigger. This category I4 is 135 square feet. The next category is 129 to 200 square feet. So they are a little bit bigger. Let me just show you what these look like. So one of the nice things is in all the cabin types except the studio, you have 2 beds that they either have them separate, as you can see in this picture, or you can put them together as you see in this picture. So just from this overview, you can see that you have like a nice little bedroom area. You have a little table where you can sit. You have a coffee maker, your closet, and then you have your bathroom. So you have a nice little space there. But this is what I mean, like if you're coming with a colleague maybe, or someone that you haven't traveled with before, you can obviously have the 2 beds separated, but you're still kind of sharing a small space and you're sharing this small bathroom. So I think that 2 studio cabins is a really nice option. It's going to cost you a little tiny bit more depending on the pricing, but having your own private space can really be a blessing. Don't forget that you're going to be in the space for 5.5 days. So just something to consider. Now, the inside cabins are the most affordable cabins. If we go back to the website, let's see. We have the pricing here. I have some sample pricing from January 5th. So if you're looking at the pricing, just to give you an example, for an inside cabin, which I just told you is the most economical, you're looking at about $815 per person for a total of $1,630. That price includes your cabin, your taxes, your port fees, your perks, your liquor package, the whole 9 yards. So just to kind of give you an idea of what that price looks like. Now, the next level up is going to be an ocean view. An ocean view cabin is going to be pretty similar, but it's going to be a little bit bigger. You can see that this first category is 161 to 340 square feet, and this next category is 161 to 252 square feet. So it's going to be a little bit bigger than the inside cabin. The layout is generally going to be the same. The huge difference here is that you're going to have a window to the outside. So ocean view literally means you're going to have a view to the ocean. So you're going to have a nice window looking to the outside. Of course, some of the cabins are located in different areas of the ship. You may have a different size window. You may have a different layout of the window, but this is generally what you're going to have. And here is an overview of this cabin. So you can see you definitely have more space. You have the little sofa area. In some of these cabins, the sofa may be expandable, so you can turn it into a bed. You have the regular bed. And let me see if there's another picture. There's not, but if you want them to, they can separate the beds. If you have two people, you don't want to necessarily be all snuggled up together in bed, you can separate the beds into two. And then you also have the bathroom area. So this is a pretty standard cabin type. The next cabin type is balcony. As you can see, the balcony cabins again are a little bit bigger. This balcony size is 207 to 550 square feet. This is an aft facing balcony. So the aft facing balcony just means it's on the rear of the ship, like it actually faces the back. That is an amazing view. I mean, you will never have like that type of view. It's really, really incredible. There's not really a, you can kind of see from this picture, but so basically it's located on the back of the ship. This is what the overview looks like. You can see that it basically looks the same as the ocean view cabin. The only difference is you have an amazing balcony. So you can sit out on your balcony. You can make yourself a coffee and hang out there. You can have a glass of champagne in the evening. You can have a glass of wine before dinner, and you can really enjoy your balcony. I personally think a balcony cabin is an amazing choice, but obviously you just have to decide if it's going to be worth it for you based on the cost. So if we look back at the cost, you can see for two people in an inside cabin, $815 for per person. In an ocean view cabin, which is the one with the window, we're looking at $935 per person. For the balcony cabin, $1,165 per person. So again, this price varies. These are sample prices from January 5th. Okay, so don't call Elena up and say, Linda told me that the inside cabin is $815 per person, because it might be different. So these prices are kind of included to just give you a general idea, so you have an idea of what it is. It might be more, it definitely might be less. You don't know until you call Elena. So then your next type of cabin is a spa cabin. So the deal with the spa cabins is access to the spa facilities are included in the cost of your cabin. Now, when we talk about the facilities, I'm literally talking about the actual facilities, not services, okay? So I think there's a picture here of the spa. So here is one of the pictures of the spa facility. You can see that there's this amazing thermal pool here. There's a jacuzzi. There's these heated beds that you can lay on. There's regular beds on the other side. And there's a bunch of other, there's a sauna. I think there's a cold room, like a cold therapy room. And so this is just an amazing space where you can spend time when you have some free time on the ship. It's really incredible. It's really great. I think you also may get a little bit of a discount on spa services as well. But so this is literally just access to the spa facilities, so you can use their facilities. When we're looking at the spa cabin types, there are multiple types, and so the price is really going to vary. But you can get a regular balcony cabin that has spa access included. So obviously it's going to cost a little bit more than the regular balcony, but it's going to be the same type of cabin. So you have an assortment of cabins here. You also have a club balcony. So the club, it's kind of like a suite without having the full level suite. So it gives you additional benefits. And then the Haven. So the Haven is basically the super VIP luxury, incredible treatment. You can see, just as an example, the Haven penthouse suite. Let me show you the picture. It's beautiful. This is the Haven bar. So you have a private bar. You have a private restaurant just for the Haven folks. And you also have a private pool deck that has like a little pool that's not pictured off to the side. You have hot tubs and everything. So, I mean, it's really incredible. But the Haven cabins are definitely in another kind of pricing category. But if you really just want to have like a luxury VIP, incredible like concierge treatment, the Haven cabins are really amazing. So again, the cabin that you choose, it's really going to come down to what your priorities are. If you are coming by yourself or you're coming with someone else, but you each want a private room, the studio cabin is going to be the best bet for you. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is all of the other cabins can still be booked as an individual person. So if you're coming just as one person with no roommate, you could still get a balcony cabin, or you could still get an ocean view cabin. You can get any of those cabin types. You're just going to pay a little bit more for them. So if we look at the pricing for one person, you'll see for the single studio cabin, the price is $1,115. Again, all of these prices include everything, the taxes, the port fees, the perks, the liquor package or the beverage package, and a bunch of other stuff. And if you go to paralegalcruise.com and you know go to the registration page, it's going to give you all of that information. So we have the sample pricing. If you scroll down, we have perks. So the other thing to consider is that with every single cabin type, you're going to get some perks. If you book an inside cabin, you get to choose one item from this list. If you book an ocean view or higher, you receive all of the items from this list. So that's something else to consider. You're still going to get additional perks if you go up the ladder a little bit. Now, every cabin, even if you pick a studio cabin or an inside cabin, is going to include $100 of onboard spending per cabin. So that's basically a credit on your onboard account. So once you get on the ship, if you want to go buy duty free, or you want to buy some perfume, or you want to go to the spa, or you want to buy like a special bottle, whatever it is, you start off with a $100 credit. You also get the unlimited beverage package, and the gratuities are included in the cost. And you also get to pick one of these perks. If you pick the Wi-Fi, it's a limited Wi-Fi, but you can upgrade to unlimited Wi-Fi at a great price. So again, I cannot give you a specific answer of exactly which cabin you should pick, because it's really just based on your priorities. You know, how much do you want to spend? Do you want to buy the cheapest possible cabin, or do you want to make sure to have a balcony, or do you want to have access to the spa, or do you want the super VIP concierge, you know, treatment and go for the Haven cabin? It really depends. What I can tell you is you can't go wrong. All of the cabins are fantastic. They are all, you know, beautiful. They're comfortable. They're all fantastic. So it really doesn't matter which one you pick. The other thing that you can consider is, let's say you want to book an inside cabin now and you think maybe later on down the road you might want to upgrade to a balcony. Availability can vary, obviously. A balcony would still have to be available, but anytime before cruising, you could upgrade if the availability is there. So let's say you've booked yourself into an inside cabin, and now you reach out to Elena and you see that the prices on the balconies have come down a little bit. Then you could upgrade to the balcony at that time if you wanted to. So you don't even necessarily have to make your final decision now. You just have to pick what you're comfortable with starting with, and then you can always upgrade later on if you want to. The other thing I just want to touch on is the location of your cabin. For most cabin types, you will have the option to choose forward, which is the front, aft, which is the back, or mid, which is obviously the middle. I personally prefer the middle, because then you're kind of close to everything. You know, if you're all the way in the front or all the way in the back, then at some point during the cruise, you're going to be walking all the way to the other side of the ship for various things, either to come to the CLE or to go to dinner or to go to the pool or what have you. I personally prefer to be in the middle. I think it's just super convenient. Then, you know, you're in the middle of everything, and it just makes it kind of shorter and easier to get places. So, and then for the decks, there's really no wrong answer there. You can always take a look at the deck plan to see what's on each floor and see if you have any preferences. That's linked right on the website. But Elena will be able to help you with all of these decisions. One thing that I would just say is, if you haven't cruised before, don't stress about it. There's really no bad floor. There's no place to be. It's just a lot of people who have cruised in the past have preferences just based on their prior experiences. So again, I like to be in the middle of the ship just because it makes it easier, you know, to get around. but there really is no wrong answer. Wherever you are, you're going to have an amazing time and you will love your cabin. And then, if you want to change it the next time, you can do that too. So if you have any questions, make sure that you visit paralegalcruise.com to take a look at the information. And then you can always reach me on social media. You can send me a message on Facebook, on LinkedIn. You can send me an email. You can even call me about the cruise if you want to. So my email address is lmc@perfectlyparalegal.com. And just feel free to reach out with any questions that you have. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the cruise. It's going to be our 10th year, and we have some amazing things in store. So thank you so much, you guys. I look forward to talking to you and answering any other questions that you may have.